Hi, welcome to week 2 of training. So hopefully you have got your launch party going. You and your sponsor are starting to talk to people. You're starting to put out samples and get orders. So I get to talk to you about fortune is in the follow-up. This was one of my favorite things to talk about because I was so bad at it. When I first started, I was so awful about keeping track of what people were doing. I was really bad about feeling like I was bothering people. So I didn't want to contact them to make sure they got their order. And then I started finding out that when I would finally force myself to do a follow-up, I had one person that had never got her order and didn't tell me until I followed up with her. I had a person that had tried the sample and loved it, but didn't tell me because I didn't follow up with her. And I realized that this was a very key thing. And I started getting orders from my follow-ups. So I wanted to talk to you about some different systems. I have tried several, and they all kind of worked at different times in my business. I think that no matter what system you set up, it has to work for you. And I think that the best thing to do is just make sure you're doing the 2-2-2. So after they order or you get a sample, within 2 days of them getting a sample, you want to follow up with them. Within 2 days, you want to make sure you're thanking them if they didn't order. And then in 2 weeks, you follow up with them if you haven't heard anything from them, because you want to make sure that they got their order, that everything worked out all right. You want to make sure that their sample lasted and it went well. And then 2 weeks after that, 2 months after that, so they'll be ready to reorder if they had an order. With the sample, I usually, after 2 weeks, they usually want to order. So you kind of go back into the 2-2-2 thing, but not always. And so just make sure to keep them in the filter and don't let people fall through the cracks. One thing I did when I first started, I pulled it out so you guys could see, is I got one of those coupon sorter things from the dollar store. I think it was like $1, and a big stack of cards of, these kind of cards where I would write the people's names, their address, what they ordered, the dates they ordered, and then they would go into my really high-tech filing system. As you can see, it says just customers, so sometimes I would just have the customers with their addresses there, but hostesses, but here it says 2 days, 2 days and 2 weeks were in one, and then the 2 months, because the 2 weeks and 2 days would happen really often. And then I also used to do loyalty cards, so that was back there too. And I kept everything in this nice little binder so I could find it and go through and see who I needed to follow up with. I then graduated up into doing an Excel spreadsheet. Just because I started getting so many people, I realized that was a lot to manage, and it was easier to manage it digitally that way. And then I moved on and now use Maven, which is a great app if you feel like getting it. It does cost, but it syncs up with our dashboard and sends you reminders for everyone who's ordered. It's amazing. And I strongly suggest it to anyone who's looking into this. And also, I think that's important still to keep track of your stuff, even if you're using Maven. I still use my spreadsheet just to keep track of addresses and things, so I can access it really quickly for my customers. And then Jamberry on our dashboard has a thing you can sign up with that will send you daily reminders of who needs follow-ups for 2 weeks and 2 months, and if anyone's ordered recently in the last 24 hours. So you can find that on your dashboard and sign up. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you find a system that works for you. Thanks.